Hey, Wild47 here, and this is my review of Prototype for the Xbox 360. I had to choose between buying this and the Red Faction Gorilla, and I'm honestly very glad I chose this. You'll see why in this review.
My name is Alex Mercer. I'm the reason for all of this. They call me a killer, a monster, a terrorist. I'm all of these things.
Alright, the story in this game goes like this. You're Alex Mercer, a person who unfortunately wakes up in a morgue as he's about to be cut open. The first thing he does is get out of there, but when he does, the military starts shooting him for a reason he doesn't remember. He escapes the military by jumping over a fence. Only thing is that fence is 3 times as tall as him, and he didn't touch it. He doesn't know how he jumped so high, but he knows the military is trying to kill him. So he runs away and kills any military he has to. Once he escapes, he realizes 2 things. 1, he has a bunch of powers. 2, he doesn't remember anything at all. Thankfully, one of his powers is the ability to consume people. Basically, that means if he kills someone, he becomes them. He learns their memories, their abilities. He can even transform into exact copies of them. So what Alex has to do is learn what happened to him, and why the military is after him, by learning the memories of people who know anything about him. It's a very good story that keeps you entertained, even after you've beaten the game.
They took everything from me. They're responsible. And they'll pay.
The graphics in this game are phenomenal, and even though there's giant battlefields where mutated creatures and zombies are attacking tanks and helicopters, and you're in the middle of it destroying everything in your way, the frame rate will stay solid. Everything looks great.
Where's your commanding officer? Sir, he's in Times Square. I'll call for transport. That won't be necessary.
The sound in this game is good, in pretty much every way it can be. The voices for the characters are good, the sound of the guns firing and the infected roaring are good, but the sound of Alex Mercer's hands growing into claws and destroying everything in sight sounds great. Alex's voice sounds like what I would imagine someone like Alex would sound like. I don't really know what I should say here, so all I'm gonna say. Alright, now I'm going to start talking about the most important part of any game, the gameplay. The story, graphics, and sound in this game are all very good, but the gameplay is where this game really shines. You can do so many things in this game that are unique, like transforming into a military officer, sneaking into a military base, killing their leaders and learning what they have to know, and then leaving without anyone even noticing anything that happened. You can play the main story, run around killing stuff, do events which are basically these things that are like, kill this many people with this power, and a lot more. Alex Mercer is basically the ultimate weapon. He can grow giant claws, blades, and hammers from his arms, and much more. If he dives off the Empire State Building head first, the only dead people will be the ones within a 10-meter radius of where he lands. You can do missions either stealthily, or you can run in with some giant claws and cut everyone into small pieces. There's basically 3 sections of the city, which is Manhattan, by the way. There's infected zones, military zones, and normal Manhattan. Normal Manhattan is just normal. There's a bunch of normal people walking around, and every here and there you'll see a few infected or military. Military zones are normal areas, only with loads more military. In the middle of most military zones, there's a military base. If you destroy the base, the zone will become a normal area. An infected area is the same as a military zone, only instead of having more military, there's more infected. Like a military zone, there's a base in the middle of most, only it's called a hive. Destroy it and the infected will be gone from that area. There's so many things I could say about the gameplay that I like, but instead I'm just going to finish by saying the one thing I don't like. There's no multiplayer at all, in the slightest. I don't really play competitive much, but I can imagine some people really wouldn't like it nearly as much because of the no competitive or cooperative multiplayer. But like I said, I don't really play competitive multiplayer that much, and I can't really imagine any co-op. So for me, it's not that bad. Alright, Prototype is a really fun game with good graphics, good sound, an amazing story, and even more amazing gameplay. Like any game, it has its flaws, but it's still a great game that I think anyone who's a fan of anything like this should definitely get. I give Prototype for the Xbox 360 a 9.3 out of 10.
Believe this is real, so let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.